Several decades ago, something strange happened in Canada. We started becoming less productive than our neighbors. Productivity, which is the average value produced per hour worked, is the most important driver to our prosperity and the safeguard to our standard of living. But for years now, our productivity rate has been growing less quickly than many other countries. At first, the decrease was small. It was hardly noticeable. But over time, the gap has grown. Now, every hour of work in Canada generates $13 less than in the United States. It's worth $29 less than Norway. These numbers matter because unless we act now, our children will be the first generation of Canadians with a lower standard of living than their parents. And it's largely because of the gap in productivity. So why is the productivity gap between Canada and other countries so big? Many people think it's due to the size of our businesses and our sector composition. They'll tell you the size of our businesses aren't big enough, and they'll say our sector composition isn't varied enough. But that simply isn't true. Our problem with productivity has little to do with size or sector. It has to do with gazelles and water buffaloes. Here are the facts. Canada is a smart, entrepreneurial nation. We can be nimble, quick, and dynamic. Our youngest businesses take fearless leaps of faith and grow at stellar rates. These high-producing startups are called gazelles, and Canada has plenty of them. In fact, Canada has one of the highest rates of new business entry in the world, 25% higher than the US. We're unstoppable. At least we are for the first 5 years. Then something happens. Our businesses stop growing. Why? It could be because they stop investing and they stop taking chances. Businesses appear to become complacent. Our gazelles become water buffaloes. And that's our real problem when it comes to productivity. Complacency trumps competitiveness. We avoid risk at any cost, protecting what we have versus pursuing what we want. We don't innovate, we stagnate. Canada needs more growth. A small number of our businesses are generating a disproportionate amount of employment and revenue. We need to fundamentally change how we approach running our businesses. We need to invest in innovation and new capital. We need to expose ourselves to the pressures of international markets. We need to think differently about how we secure new human capital. Deloitte has seen the future of productivity in Canada. A competitive, innovative Canada capable of closing the gap. A Canada capable of making sure the country our children live in tomorrow is just as prosperous as the one we live in today.